Greetings. Cheers. Hey. Best find of 2019. This is Vinyl Tag 2020 with your host, Brett Riddell. Alright, best find of 2019. Here we go. I was at a record fair and I found this second pressing on Polydor of Socrates Drank the Conium. This is a awesome cream style psychedelic rock album from Greece, and I highly recommend it. It's very, very good. Also, Septober Energy by Centipede, with members of Soft Machine and a million other people. These are our people involved in the project. This is a promo copy. I snagged this for like 20 bucks. These are normally like $100. It's not in the best shape. The records are in definitely VG shape. This is freak out acid rock music. It's really, really good. I would say similar to probably nothing you've ever heard, because there's a lot of quiet moments, but then they just freak out. Kind of like free jazz. A novelty record. I bought this purely because of the girl on the cover. I'm not interested in country music. Just the girl. And I have another one that's just like that. I got this for 50 cents. Such form, such beauty. Alright, a homage cover. A cover that pays homage to another artist. I was gonna go with Budgie and Riot. Everything about the look of Riot to me says Budgie. Budgie. Riot. Riot. Budgie. I don't know. I just think they're really similar. The music's kind of similar actually too. Budgie is a little bit more on the progressive side at times, but they're both very similar. A B-side or a deep cut. This whole album is a B-side and a deep cut. Even though he was the guitar player for Return to Forever, my selection for the B-side deep cut, would actually be side, where is that? Yeah, side 2, Sweet Golden Dawn. Will rip your face apart and make you want to play some prog rock on your guitar and learn the ways of Paco de Lucia and Mr. Al Di Meola. Beautiful. Something funky. Here we've got Street Ladies. This is the Record Club edition on Blue Note. This is a instrumental, saxophone, trumpet, guitars, really good drummer. show the inside too. I think Donald Byrd is a trumpet player, if I'm not mistaken. And this is definitely a funky album. Can't wait to listen to this again. I haven't listened to it since I bought it, and I got it for $1. All right, next one is Weird Shelf Buddies. Records next to each other that makes an odd pair. I have a lot of albums that just sit out that are kind of just for. I listen to them and I pick them up, of course, because I love them. But I love them so much that they're like decorations around my room, and I switch them up all the time of which ones that are mean something to me at that time, or someone I want to see, or something like that. And I recently pulled out my Son House compilation on Columbia. Father of Folk Blues. This is a, oh, I almost dropped it. This is a really good, I don't know if you can read those songs. And then this one is a silver. I've never seen, this is a German issue. I think the first pressing actually on Island. I don't want to pull it out, but it's the Pink Island label. And this, I have like 3 copies of this album, just because I'm always looking for a better one. And this one was $4, and it was this one, and it's in, BG shape, so. But yeah, can't imagine these two guys talking to each other, but Uriah Heep would just go on and on about how much they probably dig this guy. And this guy would probably just be like, what are you guys doing? What are you guys doing? Sorry, I had a camera error there. Oh, I was there, a band I've seen. Black Sabbath. Went to a Black Sabbath show with my brother about 4 or 5 years ago. They didn't have Bill Ward. They did have this other young drummer who was killing it, but they had Geezer, they had Tony Iommi, and they had Ozzy. And it was murderous. It was so good. Ozzy was singing really good. This was like 5 years ago, so he was killing it. And it was legendary to see Tony Iommi in person. I don't even know if that's how you pronounce his name, but I always loved the heavy rock style. I think the first song that really got me into Black Sabbath was The Wizard, actually. And I'm really not that into the Technical Ecstasy album. I'm more into this stuff because it's just doom rock. But before I got into this, I loved that because I heard it in a skate video, skateboarding. But went to this Black Sabbath show. I don't know if I still have the ticket, but it was so good. And I snuck in some joints. I was smoking joints. It was so good. Wish I had an original, but I have a repress. That goes to the Black Sabbath as well. I wish I had a Vertigo. I will have one someday. I mean, they're not really that hard to get. This was originally on Penny Farthing label, so I'd like to get a reissue of that. Discography you own all major releases of. Whitesnake. I don't have every single one, but I have like 7 of their albums and a couple singles. I also have most of, if not, no, not all of them, because I don't have their 80s and later stuff, but I have a lot of Yes. Also got a lot of Moody Blues. This one was $1, but it's original, really old. Never seen this label. Really old on this one. Probably maybe a foreign pressing. I have one without a gatefold. This one has a gatefold. This one sounds really, really good. It actually has an insert too, which I've never seen in any other. I've never seen in any other copy with some stuff. So that was definitely worth $1. Also have most of Hendrix. A unique center label. It's featured on the album Lazarus. This is definitely a beat up copy, but see if I can get the camera to focus. Amazon. And it's got a little naked lady there for you to look at. And this is a really good psych album. Definitely more of an unknown album. It's falling apart completely. So this is another one that I picked up for like, I don't know, $3. Just to have it. I'll find one that's in good condition if I ever do, and it's not expensive, I'll buy it. Oh, a band who featured somebody who went on to be famous. This is before Cheap Trick. This features Rick Nielsen on guitar. Pretty sure this is him right here. Went on to be in Cheap Trick. Alright, musical, book, or movie you'd recommend? First off, I'd like to say I recommend the movie called Rockers, Rockers. It's about Rastaman and 60s, early 70s, maybe even later 70s, Rasta studio music culture of, follows a drummer, and he lives in Jamaica in the slummy kind of areas, and he's going to parties and hanging out and trying to make music and record, and somebody steals his bike, and it's a cool movie. That was Rockers. I also recommend The Song Remains the Same from Led Zeppelin, featuring some live performance and some weird clips. An underrated album, Natural Gas. This is actually, I see this all the time in record stores and stuff, so it must not be underrated by everybody, but not that many people talk about it in the VC, or never gets recommended in my YouTube feed. But this is a fire burner of soul psych, progressive soul psych with heavy organ, guitars, great singing. I really, really recommend this album. I have a couple. I always cheat. I don't care. This video will be long. Only for the real ones. Tranquility. Really, really underrated. Heavy duty. They're like Star Castle? No, they're like Gypsy. They're almost exactly like Gypsy. So if you like Gypsy, you'll definitely like this, except not really as heavy as guitars, but definitely good guitar playing. Gypsy's also very, very good. If highly, highly recommend. They're talked about, but they could be the #1 jazz fusion band that anybody can afford to buy. They are really, really that good. And look at this psychedelic cover. You can find these for 10 bucks, 20 bucks. 20 bucks only if it's in really good shape. You can find it for like 10 bucks, even less. They are smoker albums. Jethro Tull. I'm getting into my next question here. Underrated album was the previous few, but these are for batting average. These are for the batting average question. Who consistently makes good albums? Golly. And I would say If consistently makes wonderful albums. So does Jethro Tull. I seriously love all their albums, even the silly ones like Broadsword and the weird 80s one with a white cover. Alright, same album, different cover. Genesis Live, original cover, Charisma Records, 1974. Buddha Records, actually. Oh, that's Charisma, it's just distributed by Buddha. Alright. Same exact album. Italian pressing. That one's in really good shape too. This one is not actually the same album, but what I wanted to mention about this is it's not live either. Not a live album. Sorry about that. An album you bought cheap that's now worth money. I don't have any of those. I really don't. I get ripped off always. I'm just kidding. I paid pretty much fair price for a lot of records, unless some of these ones that you hear me that are like, I paid $2 for that or something. That happens. Favorite drummer. Got a couple nominations here because me myself being a drummer for 3 years now. I would say there's a couple guys that got me into it, but now that I listen to it so much, I'm always looking out for what I really like, specifically. But of course, I love John Bonham, and he's one of the reasons I got into it, but not really. Michael Shreve. Ridiculous drummer. Michael Shreve. Billy Cobham. Literally, I keep going back to him because he can do it. He can play the ride cymbal evenly with his left hand and then play the snare drum with his right hand, and then he switches ambidextrously, called open-handed playing, and he's a monster at it. Actually, this isn't Billy Cobham. This is Lenny White. This is Lenny White. I'm sorry, Mr. Lenny White, but he does the same thing. What band was Billy Cobham in? Goodness. Mahavishnu. I can't find it. I was trying to show Mahavishnu Orchestra. That's Billy Cobham. There's an early reason I'm wanting to play the drums. As well as Mitch Mitchell and Buddy Miles with Jimi Hendrix. Really made me want to play the drums. And when I watched videos of Birth Control on the Beat Club, I really loved the singing drummer. I think his name is like Bert or something. My name is Brett. Okay. A trilogy. Here we go. We've got The Illusion. We've got The Illusion, If It's So. Together as a Way of Life. All these albums are absolutely monstrous. They're like Deep Purple. No. They're like, oh God. They're like if Dave Clark 5 was a hard rock band with Marshall Stax and a killer drummer. Maybe. That's a terrible way to put it. That's it. That's all I got. A trilogy of albums. Yeah, that's it. Hope everyone finds a lot of great stuff this year and have a lot of fun listening to your records. Remember, it's all about the listening. You don't have to spend a bunch of money. Try not to. If you do, show it off.